Good morning, everybody in YouTube land. Josh again. Just got back from the store to pick up some car parts. Got to buy some stuff for the 72 Torino. As I said before, this thing was pretty much dragged out of a field where it sat for 30 plus years, and it shows. I took pressure washer. We went and just pressure washed the whole chassis, the engine bay, gutted the interior, and when I was spraying off the front end, I noticed that the brake lines, the hoses, the rubber part, were completely stripped of rubber, and it was just the nylon, and it's guaranteed that's where all the fluid went. Now, I took the cap off the master cylinder when we first looked at the car, and it was bone dry, full of rust. The brake pedal is completely frozen, so I'm hoping that can be resolved with just a new master cylinder. It does have power brakes in that car, so I've got to try to find a way to hook up a vacuum pump to see if I can get the brake booster tested before I put the motor back in it. So decided to run to the store, pick up a master cylinder, calipers, brake fluid, lines, whatever stuff they had in stock, and pretty much found that they don't stock anything for older Fords anymore. They give you a BS line that you got to go to their hub store, which is 30 miles the other direction. So after I wasted time there, I went across the street to a competitor brand store, and they said the same thing. So I drove all the way to the other side of the city and went into their hub store. And first I stopped at an Advance Auto, just because I have one in the town that I live in, and I usually get a pretty good discount, and they do some kind of perks thing where they give you like a email coupon once in a while. So I went down there and found that they had the caliper. Wait, scratch that. Not the caliper. They had the master cylinder, and that's it. Nothing else. They had a deal on brake fluid, so I bought that. We'll just go ahead and show you what's in the bag. Cheap brake fluid. Shiny new master cylinder. It's questionable on whether a used master cylinder is worth anything, because it's a rusty piece of shit. That's probably why somebody replaced it and used it as a core. So when they take it all apart and they just rebore it or sleeve it or whatever the hell they do, put a new seal in it, how long does it last? I'd rather just buy a brand new one and not deal with it. And they made that decision super easy because they only stocked the one. They only had a brand new one. They could wait 4 days and pay shipping for the other one. But I got the new one today. I think it was like 40 bucks. Wasn't too bad. While I was there, I bought a header gasket set, some Lucas grease in the tube, and that was it. That's all I could buy from them. I had to literally go across the street to the AutoZone, which I typically don't shop at just because I used to work at one and whatever. So I went down there, and they don't sell calipers. Nobody stocks calipers for it. It was super common caliper they used for a bunch of years. So I pretty much got whatever I could get. And I figured while I was there, I would pick up some wheel bearings. Now, unfortunately, they don't sell Timken. They had in stock their Duralast brand, which I really don't know anything about. But they were cheap enough. I think they were like $3 or $4. So I bought inners, outers, and seals for the front. I figure I'm going to pull the rotors off anyway to grease them up. And I've had hubs before where you just kind of slap a car together and go wheeling down the street, and all of a sudden your wheel bearings are chewed up and loose as hell and drive like shit. While I was there, they actually stocked the hoses. They only had the fronts, so I pretty much got what I could get. I bought the fronts. That was pretty much it. I was kind of disappointed that they don't have calipers anymore. They used to sell them. I think they used to even sell them loaded with the brackets and the hardware and the shoes or the pads in there. And they just, I guess it makes sense. It's why stock the same parts in 20 different stores when you can ship them from another city and have them in a few days. So I'll just order those online probably because it's going to be cheaper either way. That was it. I got home and looked at my mailbox and I found that I had apparently ordered a whole box of stuff from somebody. I don't even remember ordering it, but I ordered the strut rod bushings and all the hardware for the front end. Hopefully that stiffens it up enough to track kind of straight. I did put a new idler arm in it because the one that was in there was completely clapped out. I could probably show you real quick. I think it's sitting right here. This guy, I don't know if we can see it. We'll try to turn down towards it. Yeah, that thing was clapped. I don't know if that's something that got whooped on for the 15 years this car was actually driven on the street, or if it's something that it just sat and rotted and got wore out. But it's funny that the tie rods feel pretty good. The rest of the suspension seems pretty solid. I do have a like a urethane bushing set for the front end, which I don't know if I'm going to waste time putting it in there, because reality is this motor's probably going to come back out in the next year or so. Hopefully to do a big block, but we'll see. I think that's about it. Yeah, and the only reason why I got that idler arm online was because they didn't stock it in any kind of store anywhere near me. So if anyone's listening, you should stock some basic parts that fit 30 years worth of cars, because somebody out there is buying them. If not, they're going to buy them on eBay for half the price that you're charging, which sucks, because I want the guy at the counter to keep his job. I want to be able to drive up tomorrow and pick up a random little part for my car instead of having to order everything. It sucks. But anyway, I'll digress. We're going to try to work on that car a little bit. If you follow the blog at all, a really old blog, Wrench Fetish NY, I'll probably have little editorials of each thing as I do it on each car. So if that's something that you're into and you want to see more step by step, it's easier because I don't have someone to hold the camera for me. And as I said before, my GoPro sucks. I don't like it. I don't know how to use it. So if you want to follow that up, hit it up. Just Google my Wrench Fetish NY. It should come up as that.com, but you never know. It's a blogger site. So anyway, have a good day. I hope everybody's out wrenching, and keep it easy.